Welcome to our in-studio segment this month. Today our guest is Vince Delia, the director of the Bergen Small Business Development Center, which is located at the college's Philip Ciarco Junior Learning Center in Hackensack. Vince, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
No problem. So let's talk about Small Business Development Center. It's a kind of a national organization. We have one here in Bergen. There's many others throughout the state. Talk about what is the SBDC and how did it start?
Well, the SBDC is a private organization of professional management consultants. We're contracted by the federal government to assist businesses and entrepreneurs. The start of the Small Business Development Centers was actually the brainchild of former President Jimmy Carter, who was a small businessman. And he felt that small businesses should have access to the resources large corporations could afford to pay for. So in 1977, Congress passed the Small Business Development Act. And the pilot for this program was right here in New Jersey at Rutgers University.
Right.
And today I'm happy to say that we have over 1,000 small business development centers throughout the nation. And we have 11 centers here in New Jersey with our headquarters at Rutgers University. When
did the Bergen branch take off?
I believe the Bergen branch was awarded the contract in 1993, and I came on board in 1994.
So obviously you've been there almost since the inception here in Bergen, over more than 20 years now. Talk about what does the SBDC do for small businesses and people who are entrepreneurial? How do you help them kind of get on their feet?
Well, the core service for the Small Business Development Center is that we offer one-on-one confidential consultations at no cost to the client, and it's on an ongoing basis.
What do people come in with? Ideas, or do they come in with kind of a plan that they already have hatched and kind of done some work on, or is it pretty much that they're starting from scratch?
Well, we get everything, actually. All of the above would be the answer to that question. We have people that have ideas, and we look to develop a feasibility analysis for their ideas. We have existing business. Actually, over 40% of our annual client base are existing businesses that need some assistance in navigating some sort of problem that they may encounter.
Over your time at the SBDC, have you seen kind of the profile of what the entrepreneur coming in looks like? Who is the entrepreneur in Bergen County?
Well, that's difficult to say. No two businesses are alike. What we've done is segmented entrepreneurship or small businesses, or actually entrepreneurship, into two categories. We have entrepreneurs of opportunity that see a void in the marketplace and strive to fill that void. And then we have entrepreneurs of necessity who look to create a revenue stream, probably because of the lack of employment.
What kind of problems do entrepreneurs encounter kind of at that ground level?
Well, the entrepreneurs, you know, that have that idea, unfortunately, their heads are filled with a lot of myths that are out there. We look to dispel those myths and to create a process or a plan, usually under a feasibility analysis, to see if, in fact, their idea has merit and if it'll be profitable.
How about financing? I'd imagine it's gotten tougher for small businesses over the last few years.
That's quite an understatement. It sure has. Since the economic meltdown in 2009, we've seen more entrepreneurs of necessity coming into this center, and financing has become a very difficult challenge.
If I come in to the SBDC today and I say, I've got this great idea for a business, I want to start a business, what do you do? How do you take them through that process?
Well, we want to look at what their concept is. We want to see how much research they've done on that concept. Actually, because of the increase in the number of nascent entrepreneurs of necessity, we've created a workshop that we run the first Thursday of every month called Doing Due Diligence, which really looks at the process and formulas that they need to use to assess whether their business will be successful or not. So I would probably say to you, sit in this workshop and then come into us and discuss it after you do your research and look more closely to your business.
You've talked about the entrepreneur of necessity. You've mentioned that a few times. Kind of expand upon that a little bit more. Talk about that.
Well, the entrepreneur of necessity really is having a difficult time finding employment, or let's say they're dissatisfied with their current employment, and they're looking to go out and create a revenue stream, create a business that would be profitable for them, and hopefully, they'll build this business up and they'll be able to have an exit strategy where they could create a nice little retirement nest egg for themselves.
Do you think there's a move to entrepreneurship for younger people? Maybe they've seen their parents, they've seen them in the corporate world, they've seen maybe the not so nice side of the corporate world, and they say, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do something for myself.
Well, absolutely, that's correct. What I've seen over the years here with the SBDC is that more institutions of higher education embracing entrepreneurship and developing programs and certificates in entrepreneurship. I mean, here at Bergen, I was one of the authors of the entrepreneurial certificate, which is 7 workshops, roughly 33 hours, that we've run through the School of Continuing Education here at Bergen Community College. And we instituted this program back in 1995, and we were one of the few places in the nation that had such a program. And even today I get calls from other SBDCs asking for the outlines for these workshops.
Do you think that's why, kind of in the infancy of the SBDC, it was associated with higher education to kind of create that link?
Well, I think that, taking professional management consultants and associating them or having them being hosted by institutions of higher education was really a well thought out idea, because the institutions have the intellectual capital and the resources that management professionals need to craft solutions to business problems.
So do you think there's even more that could be done for entrepreneurs kind of in higher ed rather than just a blanket kind of business administration degree or something like that? Do you think there could be more done at the academic level?
Well, I think at the academic level, the first thing to do is to put down the basics so that a person who's looking to pursue entrepreneurship would be able to understand what goes into the financing of a business, how to interpret some of the business financials and formulas, and to look at perhaps the marketing side of the business. The marketing for a large corporation is quite different than the marketing for a small community-based business.
Right, who may have just a one-person shop where they kind of have to do a bunch of the tasks.
Well, most of these startup businesses, that's exactly right. They wear many hats and they're looking for a 30-hour day.
Talk about kind of the future of entrepreneurship, and not only for entrepreneurs, but for the SBDC. What can people look forward to going forward?
Well, I think that entrepreneurship will gain more ground in the communities in terms of people looking more towards entrepreneurship to become financially independent.
What are some of the challenges to that in the future that you foresee?
Well, I think the challenge is really on the side of the entrepreneur is getting the right information from professionals to guide them through the many pitfalls they'll encounter in their, in formulating their business.
And obviously the SBDC is certainly here to help that.
Absolutely.
Just for anybody watching at home who might have a great business idea and might want your help, just give them where you're located, your phone number, all that kind of contact
Well, we're
information.
located at the Charco Learning Center of Bergen Community College at 355 Main Street in Hackensack. To become a client, all you need to do is be of voting age and to fill out our request for counseling form, which If you go on the Bergen website, which is bergen.edu, you'll look under the listing of departments on the right side. You'll see the Small Business Development Center there. Click that and you'll come to our homepage. On that homepage, you'll see a box that says click here to request appointment. If you click the box, fill out the form, we'll get it electronically and call you and set up an initial consultation at our office in Hackensack. Or you can call us at 201-489-8670, and we'd be happy to talk to you over the phone and guide you through the process of filling out that form.
Thank you, Vince. All businesses start small, right? Nobody starts off as Apple or Microsoft, right?
That's correct.
So you're the ground floor. So thanks for being here.
And thank you, Larry.
It's all the time we have for this month. Don't forget to visit the college's official Facebook page to tell us what you think about this program. I'm Larry Hlavenka. Thanks and take care.